Happy Sabbath once more. Happy day. This is another wonderful moment that we are going to have our mission quarterly reading. And our story today comes from a country in West Africa that is Cameroon. How many people know the capital city of Cameroon? What is the capital city of Cameroon? Ibrahim? Yes? Yaoundé. You're right, yes. So that is the capital city of Cameroon. So our story today is about a man called Mbasi. Mbasi worked for a tobacco company in the capital city, that is Yaoundé, and he made cigarettes. So in that city, he met a missionary, a Swiss missionary, who offered him Bible studies, and that was way back in 1953. Through the Bible studies, he was interested in what he read, and he started to keep the seventh-day Sabbath. So a desire grew in his heart to yield his life to Jesus and to be baptized, and he asked for baptism. But the request was rejected. The reason being is that he worked for a tobacco company, and also he worked on the Sabbath. So Mbasi was very disappointed, but he kept going to church on Sabbath all the same when he could. So he still had problems with going to work on Sabbath, and finally he got fired from his job because of the Sabbath. So he didn't have any work and returned back to his hometown. When he got back to his hometown, he continued to keep the Sabbath for 52 years. That's a very long time. And of course, 52 years from the time he's working, that means he's a very old man. His hair turned white, his eyes grew dim, but his love for Jesus strengthened with each passing day, and he longed to be baptized. He did not lose faith. So one day, a Seventh-day Adventist preacher came to the town to organize an evangelistic meeting. And when the town people heard about it, they informed him about the man called Mbasi. And they told him he's been keeping the Sabbath for the longest time that they know about. So the old man, that is Mbasi, even had a nephew by then who was a pastor. But he was not attending the Sunday services as his nephew's church. His nephew was a Sunday church pastor. So when this preacher was told about Mbasi, he was even told that the townspeople used to mock him, make fun of him, because he was an Adventist, and because he had never been baptized, he still continued to keep the Sabbath. When the preacher heard about this, he rushed to Mbasi's house, and he found that Mbasi was quite sick and in bed. And Mbasi's desire since 1953 was that he could be baptized. He kept wondering, how can I die without being baptized? He even told the Lord, if indeed I am your child, help me to be baptized before I die. And truly God answered his prayer. So the preacher and the old man, Mbasi, prayed together. Then he took the man through more Bible study. The preacher was called Cosmas, and he worked quite far away from Yaoundé where Cosmas was, and it was quite difficult for him to travel to Mbasi, but all the same, he kept teaching Mbasi about the Bible truths. Mbasi finally was baptized when he was 84 years old. He was frail and had to be carried to the river, but he was so happy. He went under the water with a smile, and he came up with an even bigger smile. That was an answered prayer from God. What do we say? So part of this quarter's 13th Sabbath offering will be used to build on the work of the Swiss missionary, the one who baptized Mbasi. And the missionary, he's called Aime Kosendai, has helped pioneer church work in Cameroon and opened hundreds of schools. So the 13th Sabbath offering will open a new school where children will be able to learn about Jesus in French and English. So we thank you as you plan to give a generous offering towards this cause. May you be blessed.